Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me once again at my home in Northern Illinois. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you could join me. I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert and a shiatsu massage therapist. And my passion in life and my purpose in life is to help people, specifically women, because that's the mindset. I understand women's minds and hearts better than I do men's. I'll totally give you that. So I like to work mainly with women. And I help them learn about how they actually work. You know, wisdom that's been passed down for generations and generations and then has been forgotten. Hey, Kara, has been forgotten, and only now is science really starting to validate the things that all of these great cultures knew, these cultural medicines, about how our nervous system works and how our subconscious works. Hey, Julia, great to see you. So that's my specialty, is teaching women how they function and helping them function in that higher way. So we've been going through Eben Pagan's book, Opportunity, which is the thing I love about this book is that it's filled with all of these different paradigms, all of these different ways of looking at the world. And the beauty of having all of these different opinions and all of these different perspectives on the world is it gives us choice and it gives us power. So when we can shift from, let me look at the world, you know, how this situation would look as if I were a mother, or as if I were a child, or if I were a political leader, or if I were a woman, or if I were a man, or as if I just need to be in the now, or I need to be in the moment. So these different mental models, these different opinions and almost lenses that we can put over our eyes help us see the world in a big multi-dimensional way, in a way that we can see all the different aspects of the crystal and get much better information and make much better choices because we're seeing them through different lenses and we're gathering all of the information that comes with that rather than getting our, you know, myopic one-way view of the world. So today we're going to be talking about celebrating your life. And part of this topic came, hey, Evie, part of this topic came because I went to a conference this weekend called Celebrate Your Life. It was filled with wonderful body-mind speakers, people who worked not only in the realm of metaphysics, but in the science of metaphysics and in the science of healing. So it was really motivating for me and exciting. And I was able to fill my head with the cutting-edge science about how our heart has its own brain, how we can get it to work in sync with our brain because they're connected, how we're able to heal past trauma and past emotions by, you know, processing through the emotions. Hey, Jeannie. So it's very exciting. And so with this book, Opportunity, that I've been reading, the mental mindset we're talking about today, hey, Alex, is about how we need to be looking at not just one focus in our life. We tend to get caught up in the one thing that we are focused on. Maybe we're focused on living with someone who has Alzheimer's, or living with someone who is bipolar, or having a child who is not moving on with their life. They aren't growing up. Or maybe we're super concerned with finances, or because we've got health conditions going on. We tend to get very, very focused on the thing that's causing us the most discomfort. So a few live streams back, I talked about how we need to just learn things to competency. We don't need to learn them to mastery. We need to learn them to competency and then move on to the next thing. So cut yourself some slack. Give yourself a little bit of break and say, you know what, I don't have to be perfect at this. I don't have to be a master at this. Instead, I can get good at it and add it as another piece to my toolbox. So this is the same thing with the issues that are going on in people's lives. We get hyper focused on one particular piece, and we forget that we're doing it good enough. We're being a good enough parent. We're being a good enough spouse. We're being a good enough employee. We're being a good enough daughter or son. We're being good enough. And so if we have kind of a little bit of a handle on it, we've got that ball juggled, we need to turn our attention to other parts of our life. Because so one of the topics this weekend was evolution. And it talked about how we have these complex systems inside of us, our immune system and our limbic system and our blood system and our nervous system. We have these complex systems. And for evolution to have happened, for them to have gradually developed and then magically come on board is pretty impossible. All of these systems, for them to work, were dependent on other systems. Your nervous system is dependent on your digestive system, which is dependent upon your circulation system, which is dependent upon your lymph and your nerves and your brain and your electrical signals. They're all so interdependent. For them to develop, let's say in solo or one at a time is impossible because they need the other systems. And this is true for any of the issues that you're hyper focused on in your life. So if you're hyper focused on one thing, I have to solve this, I have to figure this out, and if I just figure out how to make enough money in my job, if I just figure out how to fix this thing that's wrong with me, then life is going to be okay. The idea or the concept today is get it so that you're good enough, so that you're managing it, and then start building and shoring up the other parts of your life that need some strengthening. So kind of don't get to perfection on being a perfect parent. Instead, get okay with it. And by working on another part of you, working on another aspect or fear or belief or idea, and getting that resolved, or getting good enough at it, is going to support the being a good parent part. It's going to support that. So the better you get at multiple areas of your life, not just at one, not just being a great employee and then your family is failing. Hey, Michael, great to see you. Not just getting good at healthy eating and then neglecting your time to really reflect and process through any emotions or issues that come up in the day. You need to, believe it or not, get good at juggling these things. But not so that you're perfect, but so that you're good enough, and then turn your attention to another area of your life. Get that kind of cleaned up on a good enough track, and then turn your attention to another area of your life, and just keep kind of jumping around. Work a little bit on this, work a little bit on that. Because in reality, you are one big system. You are not one part and piece that's separate from all of the other parts and pieces. Your eyes are not separate from your digestion and the food that you eat. Your hands are not separate from your feet. They're connected by the same skin, the same blood and circulation, and same nervous system. We are so interconnected. Not only as an individual system, but with everything else that's around us. We influence everything around us, and everything influences us. That it's important that we don't get that tunnel vision and that myopic vision of just cleaning up one area of our life, or just getting good at one thing, or focusing all of our attention on the one problem that's really drawing us in, because then we're missing out on shoring up all the support systems. Many people ask me, they say, why are you working on the part of my body that doesn't seem to have a problem? Hey, Barbara, just work on the area that has a problem. And I'm like, well, because they're so interdependent, this area we have to get a little bit stronger, and this area we have to get relaxed. And so they work together. And when they work together, then you can actually get something done. So when you start looking at your life, when you start looking at your problems and the challenges that you have, don't get that super tunnel vision on one thing. Get kind of good enough on something, kind of get the ball rolling, maybe go grocery shopping for something healthy, and then tune your attention to another part of your life that you might want to clean up. Maybe it's taking a bath and being kind to yourself. Maybe it's going for the walk or giving yourself time for self-reflection, or getting something on your to-do list done. So when you're walking through this life, when you're going through this, I want you to remember to not get tunnel vision. If you want to celebrate your life, you want to celebrate your whole life, not just one part of it for one moment. All right? So that's our message for today. That's the mental lens I want you to put over your eyes and look at the world. So your homework assignment for today is figure out one thing in your life that you've been focused on and recognize that you're good enough at it for now, and that if you focus on something else for a little while, it's going to shore up the thing you want to get good at. And so focus on that other thing. If you just did something that's in the direction that you want to go, give it a break. Give yourself a pat on the back. Say congratulations, you did a nice job. Let's turn our attention now for this moment to this piece that I want to work on a little bit, that I want to be a little bit better at or understand more or put into my life. Our brain and our ego tends to get very narrow-minded, very structured, and we forget that we are a system. We are integrated, we are connected, we are whole, not just as a system within us, but as a system within our environment and our family and our community and our world. Hey, Camilla. So everything that you do that works on and cleans up another part of you is what will keep moving you in the right direction. So, okay, so my connection is low, so it's not going to be coming across very well right now. And so I will say so long for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope things go smoothly. And don't forget to do your homework assignment. I'll talk to you later, okay? Bye. Oh.